If your life feels confusing right now, I want you to hear this clearly. This does not mean that God has left you. Some of you are in a season where nothing makes sense. The timing doesn't make sense. Silence doesn't make sense. The seeming absence of God doesn't make sense. And because it doesn't make sense, you start wondering where God is. But just because you cannot trace him right now does not mean that he is actively in the works in your life. So if your life is feeling foggy or painful, or if things are just hard to read right now, like you're talking to God and you're like, I feel like I'm doing all of the right things, but I just can't find you. You seem to not be there. If that's you today, this message absolutely for you. I think that one of the biggest mistakes that we can make as believers is that we think that if we are good with God, then everything makes sense, right? Like if there's clarity in our life, that means that God's favor is upon us. If things are going well, that must mean that we are pleasing God, that we are doing the right things. That is always not necessarily true. That is our human brains trying to make sense of a God that we can't fully comprehend or make sense of. But I'm telling you, and I can speak from living proof, that the feeling of the absence of God is actually him working harder than you've ever seen or could imagine. And so today we're going to be getting into 3 points. I just want to drop 3 quick truth bombs on you that are hopefully going to help get you out of this rut, maybe see things from a different perspective and start tackling it a little bit different and go about your day in victory today instead of confusion. All right, my first main point: confusion does not mean that God has abandoned you. Okay, let's jump into the word here. Let's go into Proverbs chapter number 3, verses number 5 and 6. This tells us here to trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths. Listen, I get it. Us as humans, we want that understanding before we trust something, right? Like we want to fully understand it before we put our faith into something. When we look down at a chair, we look and we see that it has, 4 legs and it's got a back. If I sit in that, I'm fairly confident that it's going to hold me up. We want to know these things. We want things fully explained before we obey, right? Kids are the same way about this. Us as parents, if most of the time we know what's better, right? But they'll come back with why. They want the full explanation, which is a curious mind. Nothing against that. Shout out to my mom for putting up with that. I asked why about everything. I'm in my mid 40s and I still do. The point is, we want to fully understand something before we fully dive in and to obey it. And God's asking us to have a little bit of faith here, to lean not on our understanding, but on his, to realize that his ways are the best ways, and that we can come up with whatever plans that we want to. They can look amazing on paper, but it may not be what he has designed for your life, which is pleasing and good and perfect. You're not going to beat the will of God. There's no better life plan than that. So you just got to know that silence is not abandonment. A God not showing up is not denial either. You got to be patient. And me preaching that, if you know me at all, me preaching patience is a very, very hypocritical thing. It's something that I struggle with, something that I work on. So whenever I bring up patience, talking with you and not at you, trust me on that one. I want to tell you a quick story just real fast that kind of illustrates this. And this has happened to me before too. Not recently, but this has happened to me. This happened to a buddy just not too long ago. He was going for a job that he thought that he was born for, that he just thought that he was placed here to do. He was fully sure of it. Everything went great. Interviews went great. Just feeling on top of the world. They even gave him the perspective, I guess, that it was a done deal. He was so excited about all of these things. He had plans. This was going to significantly change his life. And when it came down to it, things just absolutely fell through. And whenever that did fall through, he was kind of defeated and he wondered. And he just wondered and he asked God, like, what are you doing? What is happening? Well, a little bit of time went by. The company that he was going to go to, absolute dumpster fire. Tons of people were getting laid off. It didn't take long. God was protecting him, and he actually got hooked up with something that was far better than what he was going to go to anyway. My point is, whenever you get all mad and you shake your fist at God and you're like, this does not make sense, I don't understand, where are you? You got to know, if you're seeking him and you're believing in him and you are having faith in him, he's working out something for you that's going to blow your mind, that's better than anything that you came up with. So hang on to that Proverbs chapter number 3 today out of point number 1, okay? All right, point number 2. God does his deepest work in the hidden seasons. Follow me here, okay? We're going to jump now into John chapter number 15 and verse number 2. And these are Jesus's words. This is Jesus actually speaking here. In verse number 2, he says, Every branch of mine that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. What is he saying to us right here? God may very well be pruning you right now. So, these hidden seasons, what am I talking about? Whenever plants or foliage, whenever they come up, they produce certain good things, but they also produce bad things that you have to cut off and get out of the way. There's a very good chance that if you are seeking Him and you are following Him and you are in this season of confusion and not knowing that He is pruning something, He is getting stuff out of your life that doesn't need to be there, and that He's making better the things that are. And when you prune things, it multiplies, it starts coming back, and it starts growing even more beautifully. And as you go, He's going to keep taking that away. Over these last 3 years of my recovery and just coming back here, I can tell you, I can see Him daily pruning me. I was talking to guys yesterday at coffee yesterday morning, just about the way that I handled something over this last week. And I'm telling you, the Bryan from a year ago would not have handled with the Bryan of just a couple days ago, would not have made the same decision. God is pruning me. He's helping me to make better, wise, godly decisions. Do I screw up every single day? Absolutely, a million times. But I'm telling you, He's pruning me and He's making me a better person. And He's going to do that in these hidden seasons. Now, He's going to prune you every single day regardless. But what I'm saying is, if it seems like that things aren't coming to fruition in the way that you think that they should, maybe He's building something better. You got to be patient with it. Give it till tomorrow, and then tomorrow, give it till tomorrow. Just be patient and stay there. He is pruning you. He's pruning you. And I know that it hurts, and I know that it can suck in the middle of it, but you got to know God's going down to your foundation. He is going down to your roots. He is getting you rooted. And the outside cannot be a beautiful thing until the inside is, until He roots you and your identity is fixed and where you are coming from. And are you trying to please man, or are you trying to please Him? He's building something in you. So just hang in there. Word of the day is pruning, obviously. Just hang in there. Hang in there. Have faith. Have patience. So worth it. And my point number 3, this is the biggest one, I think. Your job in a confusing season is not to figure everything out. It's to stay surrendered. That is so hard. Follow me here to Psalm chapter number 37 here. We're going to be in verses, number 23 and 24. Let's check this out. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hand. So what he was saying here is that your steps are guided by Him if you're following Him. He is not going to let you fall. He's going to hold you up. You may fall, but He's going to hold you back up. And just like my boy Les Brown says, I love this quote: if you can look up, you can get up. And that's the same thing with Jesus. You just got to keep following Him. You got to keep following Him. And us as humans, we are so bad about wanting to fix everything whenever things are going bad, instead of surrendering more. It's backwards. It's this upside down kingdom. It doesn't make any sense. It's like the more that you give away, the more that you get. There's a million things that don't make sense in Jesus's kingdom, and they're not supposed to, because we're not to be of this world. We're supposed to be of His kingdom. If this world doesn't make sense to you, that's good. It's not supposed to. So we got to stay fully surrendered and available, knowing that He's doing His best work in us right now. Stay in prayer, stay in the Word. Your job is not to figure everything out. Now, us as humans, do we have responsibilities and things that we do? Yes, you cannot go sit on your couch right here and just sit back and be like, God's in control of everything. That doesn't work. God helps those that help themselves. If you seek Him out and you're looking for Him, He will lay out the path and the plan for you to go. I am so guilty of this, of just like looking down, and in our human intelligence, we're like, well, I can figure this out. You just do this, 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 and this, call this person, do this, and you leave God out of it completely. And then we're in utter shock whenever it becomes a huge disaster. I don't know why. Us as humans, we have a really, really hard time learning. Right? A good story for this one would be, kind of like driving in the fog, right? We have a lot of foggy mornings here in central Indiana. Just a couple weeks ago, a really, really bad one. Did not know that it was coming, actually. But just getting ready to go to work, and you really can't see more than 5 or 10 feet in front of you. It feels like it anyway. I know that it's more than that, but it was pretty bad. As we go throughout life, I feel like sometimes there's a fog, and I think that God's light gives us just that 10 feet of space that we need to just keep going. And if you take it in those 10 feet chunks, He's going to get you there. I think that's a really good analogy for this point that I'm trying to get across here. And another thing that I think is awesome is we don't need full clarity to be surrendered. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? You can be confused and still be surrendered. I do it all the time. Like, God, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what you're working. But all that I know is I'm here. And if you ask me to do something, I'm going to do it. And with that spirit of willingness and obedience, He will lead your paths. And even though it seems like you've been on a very, very, very long journey, this too shall pass, and the morning will come. And looking back, do you guys know what I'm saying? Think about something really hard that you've been through in your life, and looking back just a few years later, you'll look back, and yes, that was tough. Yes, that was hard, but can't you kind of laugh at that now? And can't you also realize that it probably made you a better person than you are today? And now you're making life decisions and you're seeing people the way that Jesus sees them in ways that you didn't see that a few years ago, a few weeks ago, maybe even a few hours ago. I hope that that's true for you. I hope that this video speaks to you in that way, to where you start seeing this in a different perspective. Is that just that God's not all up in your business and you're having a party with Him, and there's peaks and valleys in this relationship, y'all. And just because you're not hearing from Him 100 times a day doesn't mean that He's not doing something awesome. Don't give up. Don't be like the rest of the world and just give up. Don't be a quitter. Don't be a loser. Don't give up on this. Stay faithful and stay hopeful. He rewards that greatly. He rewards that greatly. All right, so in wrapping this up, listen, if your life feels confusing right now, know that God is at work in your life. And if you're confused, hey, is God even at work in my life? If you're confused about your relationship with Jesus, like if you're like, hey, am I good with Him? That is confusion from the enemy. If you want to get with me personally, if you don't have a relationship with Jesus and you want to talk about that, that is one thing. But you cannot live walking around with a defeatist attitude. There is therefore now no condemnation, none, zero. And those that believe in Christ Jesus as their Lord and Savior, there is nothing that can take that away. And you believe in anything else is straight up just a lie from the pits of hell. That's all that is. And so get unconfused. Know that God is working. And the more confused you are, praise His name. Maybe that means He's working even harder. Stay faithful, stay praying. Remember these 3 points and these 3 Bible verses that I just brought up. I love you guys. If this video touched you in any way, shape, or form, please like and follow it. Share it with somebody that maybe needs to hear it or understand it. I'm going to put this on all the platforms that I can and just push it out. This is just a message of hope and peace in a very, very confused, crazy world. And I'm speaking specifically to these Christians that are lukewarm, the ones that they're neither hot nor cold. Jesus doesn't want any of that. He wants us on fire for Him, and to be on fire for Him, and to stay faithful and hopeful and know that He's doing something in your life and in your body and in your soul and in your family that He can't do with anybody else. The choice is yours today. I love you guys. I hope that you keep coming back, and be seeing a lot of you later on this weekend. Talk to you later.